Hello everyone, this is Swati Saraf and today I am here with the second most important thing that we come across in our daily lives, the colors. Now colors, I'll be explaining different types of colors and how they work in the digital as well as in the print medium. Looking at this picture, the curve that you see shows you the visible colors, the visible spectrum, that is the color which we can see with our naked eyes. However, the devices which we work with, they are not our eye, right? So they do not perceive the colors in the same way as we do. Okay, what happens for that is that we have different color channels and different color modes, RGB and CMYK being the most prominent we work with, right? Now RGB is the color range. You can see this triangle, this black triangle is the color range RGB. Now sRGB and Adobe RGB are the two types of RGB. RGB stands for red, green and blue, okay, and S stands for standard. Now this black triangle shows you the standard RGB color range, whereas the bigger the blue triangle shows you the Adobe RGB color range, which is a bit more than sRGB. Okay. Now the third being the CMYK, that is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. This polygon this polygon shows you CMYK, that is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black color mode. Okay. Moving forward, now what happens is that our devices, the camera we use, or the digital media, the digital devices that we use mostly work on RGB, okay, and CMYK is what we print, like our printer, they support CMYK, that is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black color mode, okay. Now, what happens if we look at this color wheel, just taking the information. See, what is the opposite color of red? Cyan. Green, magenta, blue, yellow. Okay. Now we all have come across color wheel. It's just like a rainbow with the colors we cure: violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Okay. Here we start. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Now, if we go to the extreme end, see, what is the value of red over here? 255. The red color has the value 255. Now, the maximum in an 8-bit channel, the maximum color the maximum color that a channel can possess is 255. Okay. Now 255 means the maximum amount of red in the color. 255 means the maximum amount of color in the green, and 255 in the blue means the maximum amount of color in the blue channel. Okay. Now what happens? The combination of these three channels, red, green and blue, the RGB, the combination of all these gives us the white color. That is the reason we call it the additive property. Okay, because RGB, the three channels combine together to give us the white color. However, this is not in case of print. Now, if we look at the opposite colors, what is the opposite of red? Cyan. What is the opposite of green? Magenta. And what is the opposite of blue? Yellow. So when we look at different channels, what happens is that just because it is on the opposite side, if we have 255 red, cyan would be 0. Okay, if we have 255 green, magenta would be 0, whereas if we have 255 of blue, yellow color would be 0. Okay, now that is the reason when we print, we don't print white color, right? Printing a white color means 0 color. That is basically how the different color modes work: the red, green, blue, and CMYK. K is key color or the black color, which gives darkness to the entire image. Now, looking at this very image, if I go to image mode, the image mode. The color mode we can see is RGB, that is red, green and blue. Now if I go to Windows and the channels panel, I can see the combination of red, green and blue. What does it mean? It means that red, green and blue colors combine together to make this very image. Okay, so if I click on green, this is the color. These many places have green color in these many darkness and lightness types. Here's the blue, here's the red. However, though they three are in gray colors, yet they vary in different manners. Now, if I go to Edit, Preferences, Interface, and let me just click on this. Yeah. So now here we can see red, green and blue channels just as they are. Now the brightest color in red channel would be the red color. Okay. The brightest color in green channel would be the green color and the brightest color in blue channel would be the blue color. If you want to see how these combinations work, the combination of these three channels combine together to give us this very image. Now let's see how these works. Here's the blue channel. If we add green to it, we get these many colors. Let me just close it. See what happens with red and green. Red and green, if we combine, it gives a bright color yellow. This is the reason we talked of the additive property of the color. This is what it is. Now, if we close, say, green color and see how blue and red works, it gives a bit violet and magenta sort of color. Now, if I switch on these three channels, we can see the entire image comes before us. So this is how red, green and blue channel works. Now, if I just change the color mode, image mode, I'll be changing it to CMYK. Okay. Now we can see CMYK, cyan, magenta, yellow and key color black. Cyan channel, magenta channel, yellow channel and the black channel which gives the darkness to the entire image. Let's look at the combinations again. Cyan and magenta gives this color. Cyan and yellow. Here's what we get. Now magenta and yellow. Here's what we get. However, if we switch on all those three colors, we get almost entire image. But there's one problem. Can you say what? The shadows. The shadows are not proper. We get something like gray shadows, and that is where the key color black comes into existence. We got the image right. So this is how CMYK and RGB color channels work. Now coming to the third channel, if we come to lab colors. Now if we talk of the lab color, they are mainly means lightness and two color ranges, that is A and B. A and B are the two color axes and lightness. These three channels combine together to give us the lab color mode. It pretty much works this like the same way. Let's close the channel. We can see a bit of greens and magentas. And here's what the second channel is, the blue and the yellow. The channel B mainly works as the temperature channel, whereas the channel A mainly works as the tints of the colors. Now if we combine these both with the lightness channel, that is how we get our entire image. So now what I will do, edit, preferences, interface. Okay, now if I wish, I can just take hold of any one channel and then change its color mode. Go to mode and then change it to say grayscale. It's just asking me because there are various other methods as well to change the image to black and white. So it's just asking me. I'll just discard it, and here we go with this channel. That particular red channel that we selected had turned gray. Here it shows gray because we don't have anything else. It's just a gray image with a gray scale. Now let me convert it into a duotone. Duotone, now as the word suggests, it means double tone. Duo is double and tones is the different tones of colors. I'll go with duotone. I had earlier selected, it shows me this color. We just have different preset. We can select any of the preset. Earlier I had already selected this color, the brownish color for my duotone, and I'll be selecting okay. See, if we remove the preview, what happens is that it adds a bit of brown tone in the darker areas of my picture. So what happens then is that earlier I had 256 colors of just lightness and darkness, that is from black to white, 256 colors. So what it did was it added another color, the brownish color, which had 256. Now what is the total? We get during a printout or in the image, we get different 256 channels of first color, that was the black, into 256 colors of the second channel, that is the brown that we added. So we just widened our area, we just widened the color options for us. This is what duotone does. You can obviously change, instead of brown we can choose any other color and it would be giving a different effect to our picture altogether. Now if we just remove it, Control and Command Z, I'll go to image mode. This time I'll be choosing bitmap. Let's see what bitmap does. 72 dpi, it's fine for me. Okay, I'll be choosing anything. Say I'll be choosing diamond. Frequency is 20, it's fine. I'll be saying okay. So this is what it had done to our image. When we zoom in, we'll see the image is a combination of only two colors now, that is pure black and pure white. We just have two colors in the images in our image now, and those are just aligned in different manner to make up this image. Diamond, the shape it made is diamond. The smallest shape that you see, the made out of pixels, is the diamond. This is because we selected diamond. We could have easily gone with some other shape. This was very much about the picture, about the color channels. Now we'll go into a bit more deeper, that is the bit. When you open a new document in your Photoshop will be asking you the bit of the your document, that is how many bit document you want to open, whether 8-bit or 16-bit or 32-bit. Now what is the bit? Bit is basically the number of colors present per channel. Say if we talk of RGB, then the number of colors present in red channel, the number of colors present in green, whereas the number of colors present in blue. Okay, it goes that way. If we just open a calculator and we just try to multiply it, 8-bit channel will be multiplying it by 2 because computer understands only binary language, right? And binary language means 0 and 1, that is only 2 digits. Okay, so we'll be multiplying it 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So here we get 256. That means each color channel, the red color channel will have 256 colors, 256 different shades of red. The blue color channel will have 256 different shades of blue, whereas the green color channel will have 256 different shades of green. Getting it? This is how it works. 2, because obviously I told you, because binary digit has only two numbers, that is 0 and 1. So we multiply 2, and 8 times because we are choosing 8-bit images. However, if we would have chosen 16-bit image, to make the calculation of how many colors you get, you can multiply to 16 times. Let us first see how many colors we get in an 8-bit image. It was 256 colors of in red channel. Now, let's multiply it again. 256 in red multiplied by 256 in green multiplied by 256 in blue. So if we work with 8-bit color channel, these are the number of color options that we get. However, if we move to 16-bit, you can anytime multiply it those many times to find out how many colors option do you get to work with in a 16-bit color channel. The same goes for a 32-bit. However, the number of color increases too much in a 32-bit color channel and the file even becomes a bit heavy. We don't even need so much colors. So preferably we go with maximum 16-bit color channel and you're pretty much good to go. That was for it today. See you in the next tutorial. Stay tuned, do subscribe and share with your friends and keep learning Photoshop with me. Thank you.